So it's been a wild week for OpenAI. They've released essentially their open source model, GPT OSS, which was pretty cool. But then they had to also announce GPT-5, which is if you woke up this morning, you probably found that all the other models were gone, and essentially all you had access to was versions of GPT-5. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how I built the same Chrome extension those two different ways, one using the open source model and one using the ChatGPT 5 model. Let's dive in. Now, let's go to LM Studio. You gotta download this, and look, they've even updated the site. You know, they're really going for the OpenAI GPT OSS. So I've actually downloaded it. I'm gonna install it. See what happens. Oh, let's bring it over here. So let's move it on in there. Is copying it over. It's using my other screen as the primary screen, which is kind of weird. Now, let's have a look. Alright, so it should be in there. So, okay, so it should be installed. Let's check. LM Studio is there. Let's open it up and see. Alright, open it up. Where did it go? Here, okay. Local AI on your computer. Let's get started. Power user, I'm just getting started with AI. Developer, show me everything. Sure. Let's see what everything does. Here we go. So let's get your first model, download an AI model. So here it defaults to the 20B, which is great. It's 12 gig. All right, we might have to speed this up a bit. Let's see how long this takes.
2,000 years later.
So downloaded 10 gigs of 12. So for most machines, I've got a Mac Mini M4 with 24 gig. So it's got the M4 chip as well. So this should hopefully run. I want to test it out and see.
One eternity later.
Okay, so let's start a new chat. So it should give you a nice chat interface. Just gonna make this a little bit bigger. See what is going on here. Let's have a look. Okay, here's the chat. Alright, so let's have a look. With an unnamed chat, developer mode. Looks like we've got a terminal here. Models. Okay, so listed all the models that you can grab as well. Model directory. Simple chat. We have dev mode here. These look like plugins, so we could have the JS Code sandbox. Yeah. Includes this plugin, includes tools, configure, readme, clone. Right. Okay, so I can turn that on. What's this one? Rag V1. I'm not sure what that is. Connect plugins and MCP service to LM Studio. Okay, cool. That's good. Okay, so you edit the MCP JSON. You usually give it like a URL, and you give it a name of your MCP. So like, for instance, Figma has an MCP that I use inside Cursor, so I could add that here, essentially. That's kind of cool. All right.
A few moments later.
So I think I found a use case for trying this out. It might be my standard use case. I've actually created a little calculator that I used to use as a nurse for a specific calculation called 6-minute walk distance. I'm not going to go into it. Essentially, built a little Chrome extension for it and vibe coded it using other tools. I want to see if this works here. Got the reference, Googled the reference formula for it for males and females. So this is basically just a calculation. Then I'm also going to give it a couple screenshots of my Chrome extension, but this could be a design, a screenshot of anything. Put that into LM Studio. So let's have a look here. If I do this, you can attach two files, failed to upload. Model does not support image input. Oh, really? Attach file. Go upload. Okay, so I need a PDF text. All right. That's kind of annoying. So, okay, that's the limit of this model. That's kind of all right. So I could probably turn these into PDF. So I might do that. Give me a second. Had a bit of trouble uploading images. So what I've done is I've gone into Figma. You didn't need to see that. Added the screenshots to like an A4 artboard and then added the screenshots on there. I'll show you what it looks like now. So I've got a PDF here of the screenshots and I'm basically going to add that in, see if that works. Perfect. And now I'm going to go back to Google and go, here's a formula, and go back to LM Studio, create a Chrome extension for calculating a 6-minute walk distance. Here are the equations basically, and see what happens. Load a model to send a message. This one, please. The very faint cog here as well, where you can change and adjust the context length, several other things that kind of escape me, but that's interesting. So I think the thing here is I could increase this. Shouldn't need that many tokens, but I could increase it. We'll see how it goes. Loading the model still. Okay, now I can request that. Let's see, there's the reasoning effort there. Let's see how it goes. Chosen context, injectable content, context predicting. Let's have a look here. Oh, wow. That is right. I know for a fact that the manifest JSON. Just using pure HTML, CSS. Very non-frameworky, which is definitely kind of cool. Just using raw JavaScript, which is great. No library, no jQuery, love it. So relatively fast. Okay. Optional enhancements to persist the values using local storage. Unit switch centimeters blah add drop downs. On workstation. Yeah, quick test. Yeah, the values happy. Calculating. Okay. So now it is a bit funky where you do need to copy these over. Project. Go to my repo. Step on. Open. I could use cursor here, but I am just going to make a new file. No, that's just maybe I could outline. All right, let's use cursor. Why not? Sure. Chat. Yep, hit available. Ooh, maybe later. So let's go back here. A little bit clunky. I could ask it to like, can you create a zip file for me? So, because otherwise I have to create files, stop everything. Ah. So earlier the screen recording kind of crashed, but I can show you essentially what I did. I gave it the same prompt. So essentially where we got up to was that it did essentially create the Chrome extension. I tried to zip it up as well. That didn't really work because I don't have access to these files here. Now, what I ended up doing was opening up Cursor. Now you can do this at home with another ID, but essentially copying each file as is. And then I gave it more prompts essentially because it wasn't quite right. Essentially, what happened was I ended up adding in some tabs. So I'll show you guys some of the differences here. So we've got that and that. So this is what I gave it plus that prompt now, and this is what I got. So let me close that. I've got two versions of it. But essentially, I added in more prompts to add in the tabs here. Didn't get the imperial form quite right. For some reason, got a select from 1 to 120 as height for feet. Inches is fine. It's got the weight in pounds, in years. It's very, very basic. So essentially, with a bit more prompting, I'd be able to get here. I'd need the copy to clipboard functionality, a lot of things there that are missing, but I wasn't expecting too much really from, getting all this done in one shot for an open weight model. Um, so essentially what this so far pretty impressive still for something that's free and runs locally. So when you're in a pinch, it's kind of a good backup to have. So I do recommend having a go at this. Now, next we'll try the new Chat GPT-5 as well. So I'm expecting big things. Let's see.
A few moments later.
Give it the same prompt with the two images. That's one of the upsides for ChatGPT 5. You can actually give it the images. You don't need to put them into something and create a PDF for the OSS open version. It did zip it up straight away. It did think about it for about, I don't know, a good 10-ish seconds. It probably felt like 30 seconds. Essentially, it made the Chrome extension in one shot. It knew about the copy to clipboard. It reasoned a lot better. Now it's told me how to unzip it. And then in Chrome, how to actually see the extension. So I've actually done these instructions, which is open my Chrome. Let's have a look here. Let's actually have a look. So Chrome extensions, I've actually added it in here, which is you go to load unpacked and you find the actual repo here, which is the folder for where it was zipped. So I moved it into here, which is the GPT-5 version. And then it adds it in. You just have to pin it up here, which I've done. And this is pretty crazy, guys. So, I mean, that's one shot. It's pretty good. It works right out of the box as expected. There you go. You can copy to clipboard, and that if I just paste it in here, that works too. That's kind of cool. All right. And for some reason, I didn't ask, but it has the actual equation there, which might be helpful for clinicians. Well, that was a really fun experiment for me. Essentially giving the same prompt with the open weight version versus the new ChatGPT 5. It's clear why they released OSS earlier this week, because ChatGPT 5, in my opinion, it's miles ahead of the open weight version, but as a good backup, offline backup, it's not a bad thing to have, and it's pretty easy to install with LM Studio. So while the announcement was a little underwhelming, when you play with it, it feels smarter and faster. As you can see, I was able to create my Chrome extension with a couple photos, the same prompt, in one shot. I haven't edited anything, which is crazy. So I'd like to see what you guys do with it. Hit me up in the comments. What do you guys think of the new ChatGPT 5 and the open weight version? And I'll see you in the next one.